I've closed on some of the biggest and best offers on the planet. Unfortunately for you guys, I've also developed a proven, repeatable process that I call the Elite Roll Formula, which allows you to land elite level top 1% high ticket sales rolls and effortlessly scale your income to 20, 30K a month and beyond. So if you are in high ticket sales, or you'd like to be, my big promise to you is that this will be the most practical, actionable video you've ever watched when it comes to landing high ticket sales rolls. At least that's my goal. Let me know in the comments after you've watched whether you agree or not. Let's go. The Elite Roll Formula, a step-by-step guide to landing 20 to 30K a month high ticket sales rolls on command. And what I first off want to let you guys know is that this goes beyond just landing offers and making a lot of money. If you watch this video until the end, if you execute on the process, you will possess one of the most highest value skills that you can have as a man. Yes, using this process, you will be able to land great offers such as I did with Charlie Morgan. I've also worked on Brooke Hiddink's offer, very well respected offer, as well as 2 other elite level offers. But truly, if you understand, digest, and execute on this process, like me, one day, you'll be sat at home, the next day you're sending voice notes back and forth with Tristan Tate. One day you're sat at your home in London, the next day you're chilling in Amsterdam with Hamza. One day you wake up with a phone notification, you've been invited for a gym session with Chris Eubank Jr. and Dizzy Rascal. Again, very famous guys, especially in the UK. Because the fact is, being able to garner attention from and attain the desired action from whoever on the planet that you want, this is one of the most highest value skills on the planet, and I'm about to give you a process for it step by step. First off though, we do need to have just a very quick couple of belief shifts. Belief shifts number 1 is opportunity vehicle. That when it comes to making the money that you want to make in the high ticket sales space, I'm talking, the big numbers, it's not just about your sales skill. Of course, that is massively important. But what's also very important and is often disregarded is the skill of landing great offers, because it's also important the opportunity vehicle that you're in, the offer that you're in. So while a lot of sales trainers want to focus solely on getting better at sales, which again, absolutely important, they disregard the skill of landing top-level great offers. Because the fact is, no matter what the sales managers want to say, that there's no such thing as bad leads, the raw truth is that not all offers are made equal. Like, there are some offers out there that are just so good, so easy to close, that truthfully, you'd have to be terrible to not be at least 10 to 15K a month. But inversely, there are other offers out there that are just so bad, so terrible, that no matter how good you are, it's going to be very difficult to scale past even 10K a month. The second belief shift that we need to have is the skill of landing great offers, because this is a skill. This is a skill that you can get better at with practice and a proven process. It's not luck. It's a skill that once you master will lead to you elevating your income to entirely new heights. You'll be able to command and land top level offers at will. In your life, you will have less stress, more certainty, more confidence. You'll have more long-term leverage, and you'll be able to close more on whatever offer you're currently on, because you'll have this abundance mindset, knowing that you can have a top-level elite offer whenever you want, within a matter of a week. And by the way, guys, we're going to go very deep in this document. There's going to be copies, scripts, and prompts I'm going to give you. So if you do want the full document sent to you, just DM me on X, or in other words, Twitter. DM me the word roll. My username is ScottParsonsBiz. Or for those of you that do potentially want to work a little bit closer with me, there's a link in the description to find out more details on that. Now, key belief shift number 3 is that you have to be marketable. Really, guys, in the same way that a company just has to market their product or service, no matter how good their product is, by the way, they have to market it. What we are doing is essentially no different. In fact, the only difference is that in this context, you are the product. So you really have to begin thinking of yourself as a product that you need to market. And with that comes thinking about deep human psychology, first principles. Why would somebody pay attention to you? Why would somebody take the action that you want them to take? And there's going to be a lot more info on that as we go along. So here we go. This is the Elite Roll Formula. Now, in the Elite Roll Formula, there are 3 primary ways that we can land top-level A+ offers on command. Now, we're going to be going through one of them. I personally, guys, as a side note, I would not mind at all just giving away all the value for free. But what I do also have to be mindful of is that there are other guys who pay me, right? They pay me for my coaching, the mentorship, the systems, the processes. So I also want to be respectful of them and not just give away absolutely everything, for free out to the world, something that they've paid me for, if that makes sense. But we're going to be going through one of the ways right now. This is the outbound method. And guys, again, a very quick disclaimer. Sometimes I feel like when we hear the word outbound, we think of some shitty cold email. It's not that. It's a very in-depth process. We leverage a lot of deep psychology, especially the copy and the scripts that I give you. So don't worry, it's not just, I'm not going to basically just say send a shitty cold email, okay? And this has also come from my own original thought, right? This is not something I've copied off of YouTube. This is based on years of trial, of data, feedback. This process really does work, guys. It works insanely well, in fact. You guys who learn and execute on this process, frankly, are never going to have to worry about money again, because you're going to be able to land elite level roles, you know, very easy to sell offers within a matter of weeks, probably 1 week, to be honest, okay? So let's dive in. The first step is a pretty simple one, and this is gathering your target list. So first off, we're going to create a list of about 10 to 50 targets. Now remember, guys, the whole purpose of this process is not to land some mediocre role. Okay, we want to land elite level roles with an absolutely solid offer where it's frankly easy to make 10 to 30K a month. And again, these kind of offers absolutely exist. Offers that sell themselves. Again, not all offers are made equal. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is really remove any limitations that you might have in your mind. This process absolutely works. This exact process that we're going through now is how I landed a role with Charlie Morgan, who has a very, very well-respected offer. So, you know, just let your mind be free and choose targets that are only your dream offers. What I'm trying to say is, like, don't think, if you've got somebody in mind, somebody that you'd love to close or set for, don't think to yourself, I would like to work for them, but that's just not realistic. No, it is. With this process, it absolutely is. So just, you know, let your mind be free. Only target your absolute dream offers. And as another side note, as you create your target list, also bear in mind that certain companies carry a certain weight to them. And what I mean by that is some companies, there's a certain amount of authority that if you worked there and, you know, you pulled in some decent numbers, it would become a lot easier to land elite roles moving forward. So for example, again, I use this exact process we're about to go through to get on Charlie Morgan's team. And Charlie is a very well-respected founder, especially in the high-ticket coaching and info space. So when I went and closed for him and obviously hit some big numbers, that made it very easy going forward to get any roles that I wanted. In fact, then it actually makes it a lot easier for people to come to you rather than you reaching out to them. You'll start to get inbound inquiries, people wanting to essentially poach you, basically. It gives you big leverage. So yeah, really just like look beyond the curve and think about like what companies would carry a real certain level of authority, you know, if I hit some good numbers there. Now, in terms of gathering your target list, there's two different ways that we can do it. There's automated and manual. I recommend the automated way because, I mean, why not? It saves a lot of time. So for the automated process, we're going to use an AI platform called Manus, which essentially has the ability to execute tasks autonomously, obviously after prompting it. There's a link to a Manus free trial on the document, or if you just go onto Google, type in Manus, it will come up. You only need the free trial version. That'll be absolutely fine for what we need. And then if you've got the document, which again, if you want the document, just DM me on Twitter. This is the document here. This is the prompt here. You can personalize it to yourself. So for example, if you specifically want to work in info, or if you specifically want to work for an agency, again, you can just tailor the prompt to suit your own needs, basically. But yeah, just copy and paste that prompt, put it into Manus, and it's very quickly going to give you a spreadsheet of all your target lists, and we'll be good to go. Now, if for whatever reason you do prefer a more manual kind of sniper approach, that's fair enough. You can use this process. I've put together a template that you can use here to essentially input your data into. It's pretty simple stuff. I'm going to brush over this, but you obviously want to use the right hunting grounds, you know, places like Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube to kind of gather your target list. Once you've done that, you want to source the data and input it into the spreadsheet that I've given you, or create your own one. Now, here's the thing. Finding, for example, the data of company name, founder's name, social media profile links, that stuff's obviously easy and readily available. We are going to need emails, and for that, it's not difficult, but we are going to have to go another step, right? So here's what I do. Any company that I ever want to reach out to, what I normally do is I'll just Google the founder's name, then company name, then type email next to it, right? So for example, Charlie Morgan, I'll put Charlie Morgan, Imperium Acquisition, email, right? Nice and simple. When you do that, what's going to happen is there's going to come up a list on Google of these email verifying tools, such as Contact Out, such as Rocket Reach. I've always used Rocket Reach. It's very good, very reliable. It's always given me the right email. And as a side note, a little trick that I've used many times actually, it's so stupid and yet so effective. is what you can essentially do is just literally type in the direct on the email. You can do first name at companyname.com, and literally like 70% plus of the time, that's their email. Think about like some of the most highest profile entrepreneurs or even celebrities. You can literally email them just by doing this. It's crazy. So for example, if the person you want to reach out to, if their first name's Joe and their company name is Growth Fuel, you would literally just type in joe@growthfuel.com into the email address bar, and I can like 70% plus of the time, that's their email. It's crazy. I recently booked a meeting with the founder of like the #1 AI info company on the planet right now. I wasn't even looking for a role. It's just that when you have the ability to book meetings with whoever you want, you kind of just want to create side quests. And I literally did it just through doing that. Again, first name at companyname.com. It's so stupid. It's so stupid how effective it is, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, step number 2, now that we've got your target list, the next thing that you're going to do is create your marketing material. This is where it gets very, very key. Remember, our entire goal at the raw base level is to, number 1, garner attention. So to have our message opened and read by the hiring decision maker. By the way, guys, I don't often recommend targeting the sales manager. We are going to go straight for the founder, because what will happen is the founder will be very impressed by your email, especially if you use the copy and scripts that I give you. And then they'll pass it on to the hiring decision maker, which might be the sales manager. But ultimately, yeah, our goal at a raw base level is to, number 1, garner attention, and then number 2, to get the action that we want, which in this context is a reply which leads to an interview, okay? So action number 1, we're going to map out your big claim, okay? So think about your big claim. This is the reason why they should open your video pitch, and there'll be more on this in just a second. The reason why they should move forward and take the action that you want them to, which again is replying to the email and booking in an interview. Now for this, guys, we have to use first principles of human psychology, and we have to appeal to their self-interest. Very, very key. I've seen some closers and setters out there. They'll reach out to like a founder or a sales manager and they'll say, hey, I'd love to close for you. But this breaks a very fundamental rule of human psychology, that it doesn't appeal to their self-interest. Okay, you would love to close for this company, but why should they care? You know, we have to appeal to their self-interest, guys. Very key. So put yourself in the shoes of like a, for example, a coaching and info founder. They're doing, millions in profit per year. What do they want? Like, keep it simple. They want more business growth and they want less stress and less headache. And what do you need for that? You need top tier talent on your team, especially sales talent. You don't just need some random normie, like you need not some NPC, you need A player talent. And all high level operators, high level founders, they know this. They know that one of the most important things to have in their business to scale and get to the vision and goals that they want is having great people within their company, great people working for them. So what that means is that they are constantly on the lookout for top tier talent. Even if they're not actively hiring, I promise you, I know this from experience, these founders, they will make a position available for the right person. They are always on the lookout for great cash collecting, revenue producing setters and closers to join their team. And so that is going to be our big claim. Now, here's the thing. Remember, our first goal is to garner attention. That is at the raw base level. Without that, nothing else matters. So therefore, we can't approach them just with some, run-of-the-mill claim like, oh, I'll be a great closer for your company. Like, no, we need something that excites them and again, and appeals to their self-interest. Something that garners their attention and makes them think, who the fuck is this guy? Is he one of those like young prodigies? And then what happens is when you can get that thought in their mind, they quietly think to themselves, okay, well, if he is one of these young prodigies, I cannot afford to not at least have a conversation. So let's bring them in. Guys, this is exactly the thought process that we want. And this is exactly the thought process that happens if you complete all the steps right. And you use my copy, my scripts, etc. Okay. So therefore, the big claim that I recommend, and the one that I've always used, is I will be the most pivotal, influential, and successful sales hire that you ever made. You can insert setter or closer there. Now, as a disclaimer, some of you guys could hear that and think, but hang on, wait a sec. Like, am I going to be able to fulfill that promise? Like, will I actually be able to perform at that level? And the answer, guys, it goes very deep, but the answer is yes. If you can make yourself believe it. Guys, I promise you, every single killer closer or killer setter out there at one point had this delusional level of self-belief, even when they didn't have a track record and even when they didn't have any actual evidence. Everything starts in the mind. And if you lack the confidence and belief that you can come into absolutely any company and make a big splash, really solidify yourself as an A player, it's because you either lack the right character traits and or the right skill sets. And in this situation, if that is you, trust me, I can help you. All you need to do is click the link in the description, watch that video, and then if it's of interest to you, book a call with me and we'll take it from there. But I can guarantee you guys, if you do that, your life will change. All of my guys that I'm working with, I know for a fact their lives are about to change. You'll get trained up at the most elite level and get placed into an elite offer, and that is where you hit the big numbers. You will become an elite level operator that has the right character traits, skill sets, systems, processes, and then you really can fulfill our big claim that you really will be the most pivotal, influential, and successful sales hire that they made, okay? So let's go. Moving on. Action number one, we are now going to create your slides, okay? We're going to be creating a short slide presentation, which we will present in your video pitch, which is the next step. Now, here's the thing, guys. Don't worry, this is not time consuming because with AI now, we can literally create this in minutes. Like a solid presentation, we can create it in literally, under 2 minutes. And it's going to boost conversions massively. Now, what's very interesting, guys, is that, remember, in an absolute sea of like mediocre outreach for setting and closing roles, I've seen it. I've been on the other side of outreach of people looking to get setting and closing roles. Most people just do an absolutely terrible message. At best, they send some selfie iPhone video. And guys, one of the easiest levers that we can pull in life to beat our competition is just simply to visibly show a little bit more effort than everybody else. Even though low-key, it only takes a few minutes to make a presentation. So by making a video pitch that has a presentation in the background, we are going to stand out. They're going to see that you're putting in more effort than everybody else. It boosts conversions at such a high level. It's crazy, right? Anyways, moving on. So the steps to create the slides. What you do is you go to gamma.app and create an account. You won't have to pay for it. You get a certain amount of credits, and for what we need, the free version more than covers it. You're then going to take my script and the prompt, which is on this document here. There's a link to that document. Again, if you need the document, just DM me on Twitter, the word roll. I'll send it to you. My username is ScottParsonsBiz. Or if you do just already, have some level of interest in working together closer, there's a link in the description. You can click that, watch the video, potentially schedule a call with me. So by now, guys, so you've put that prompt into Gamma. We've now got your slide presentation, and now we're going to create your video pitch. So just to very quickly recap, by now we've gathered your target list of all your dream offers that you'd love to work on. We've mapped out your big claim. You've got your slide presentation made, and now we're going to create your video pitch. Okay. So what's going to happen is pretty much any messaging that we send out is the centralized point is going to be the link to your video pitch. Okay. So step number one, nice and simple, just open up Loom. If you don't have an account, create an account. And then the script that I've given you, paste that script into the notes section on Loom. So when you go to Loom and you click record video, you'll get these options here. Where it says notes, just click that and paste the script that I give you. The script, by the way, as you'll see from the notes on the script document, you do want to amend it to suit your own, to individualize it to you, basically. But yeah, try and stick to that script as closely as possible without literally copying it word for word. Now, guys, a quick note on energy and communication. Remember, we are making our big claim throughout all of our messaging, including the main copy of the message we're going to send, including the video pitch itself. So therefore, remember, by the way, as well, that we are appealing to the founders' self-interest. And what do the founders want? They want somebody who they believe can close deals and collect cash, period. That's it. And, bonus points if that person is easy to get along with, who's positive, who adds to the team culture and, isn't a nightmare to work with. But ultimately, they're looking for somebody that can close deals and collect cash. That is what they want. So think about this, guys. It is imperative, therefore, that in your video pitch, you come across as professional, confident, positive, and an absolutely great communicator with absolute conviction and almost a level of delusional self-belief that you truly do believe your big claim, that you would be the most pivotal, influential, successful sales hire that they ever made, okay? And it cannot be stated enough that if you don't have experience, that's actually fine, okay? But where you lack in skill and experience, you have have to make up for that lack of experience with enthusiasm, confidence, authority, and work ethic. In other words, you could also sum it up as aura. You almost want to absolutely brainwash yourself and be at the point of near delusion about just how much cash you will make that company and how you will be the best hire that they ever made. And again, if you are working closely with me, I can help you with all of that. You will come into an offer knowing that you're going to be an A player, knowing that you're going to be one of, if not the top players on that team. And again, the link is in the description if you do want to check out working with me a little bit closer. Now, here's the thing as well. I've mentioned a couple of times now about almost this level of delusional self-belief. But the thing is, you want to be mindful. Delusional self-belief without arrogance. It's very, very key because arrogance is very off-putting to founders, but really just to human beings in general. So somebody should watch that video and just, again, have that lingering thought that you have the potential to be an absolute prodigy, okay? But also that you'd be a good addition to the team culture. So if you come across as some arrogant guy, they could be thinking to themselves, okay, this guy can collect cash, but I don't really like his vibe, and it's just not going to be good for conversion. So self-belief without arrogance is very, very key. And I've put some notes on the script documents, kind of going into a little bit more detail on that. Now, step 4 has 2 parts to it. So step 4A is we are going to craft the email messaging and copy. So to very quickly recap, by now we have our target list, we have our big claim, we've got our slide presentation ready, and we have our video pitch ready. So now we're going to draft the copy for the email and messaging. So this is the actual initial messaging that the target will see before they click the link and go and watch your video pitch. Now, this is extremely imperative, the copy and messaging, because remember, our entire goal of this process is to get them to watch our video pitch, and then from the video pitch to get them to take the action that we want, which is a reply leading to an interview, okay? So if we reverse engineer the sequence of events that happens that leads up to you having an interview, what is it? First off, the target sees the email and the message preview. So should I say in email, they'll see the subject line. In the social media, they'll see, there's like that little preview, they'll see that. So they see the subject line, they'll open it, they read the first couple of lines, because by the way, that is how elite operators operate, essentially. They don't read the whole thing, they don't skim the whole thing, they essentially read the first couple of lines and then in their mind decide if they want to carry on going and reading further, essentially, okay? So they'll read the first couple of lines, they'll decide whether it's worth carrying on, they'll click the link and watch your video pitch. They'll like it. They'll be intrigued. They'll reply back. And after maybe 1 or 2 back and forths, you'll have a day and a time locked in for an interview. So basically, guys, what I'm trying to say here is that if we look at the raw foundation of success here, it's getting the target to pay attention to our message subject line or DM preview, to open it, to read the first few lines, and then so essentially the subject line or the message preview can literally make or break this entire process. And luckily for you guys, I already have proven subject lines and message previews that work, okay? Along with main message copy. You can access all of that copy, which again is proven. I know it works, it converts insanely high, and I've given you all of the subject lines, messaging copy, etc. in that document there. Again, just DM me on Twitter if you want this document. You'll get the links to the copy and all of that good stuff. Now, step 4B, we're going to draft some follow-up messages. Okay, so we're going to be creating an automated series of 4 follow-up messages to our targets. Now, you could be sat there thinking, well, why only 4? Don't we want to stay on top of them? Don't we want 5, 10? And truthfully, guys, no, because we won't need it. In my honest experience from myself and the guys that I work with, once you send the first batch of outreach messages, you'll have multiple interviews lined up within less than a week, literally. And then if you follow my interview process, you're also going to have multiple offers lined up within, again, less than 7 days, most likely. Offers so good, by the way, that, again, you have to be terrible to not make at least 10 to 15K a month. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is that there's no real need to make any more than 4 follow-up messages because we're not going to need it. But with that being said, it is always good to have some follow-ups ready, in the arsenal, in the rare case that, that you do need them, okay? But we don't need to overcomplicate this. The messaging for our follow-ups in this context, follow-ups are simply tools to get the people who haven't yet watched our video pitch to watch it. Remember what I said earlier? All of our messaging is going to be funneled to the centralized point of your video pitch. And again, if you go through my documents that I give you regarding video pitch, you're going to smash the pitch, okay? So For that reason, our follow-up messages are going to be very short, very concise. We're going to nudge them on the previous message while directing them to the video pitch. And again, I've put you a document with all the copy that you need for follow-ups there. Step number 5 is sending. So now we've got everything ready. It's time to get sending. And it is very, very important, guys, that we use a multi-channel approach, okay? Because I can say this from experience from myself and the guys that I work with, that when you message the same company and founder on at least 2 channels, for example, email and LinkedIn, or for example, email and Instagram, or email, LinkedIn and Instagram, I promise you, layering on top these multiple channels, it will skyrocket your conversion rates. Conversion, by the way, I mean from initial outreach to actually getting an interview booked and a role offered to you. Remember, we want this founder to be thinking, who the fuck is this guy? He is everywhere. He's in all of my inboxes. He seems like he really has the desire and ambition to work with us, and I like that. What if he's one of those young cash collecting prodigies? Trust me, by executing this process, by following the instructions closely, by using the instructions in the video pitch document, by using my copy and scripts, really making sure your pitch is dialed in, that is exactly what the founder's going to be thinking. And then we're going to be using an automated approach as well, which extra impresses them, and you know, you're everywhere in all of their inboxes essentially. Now, in terms of sending, there's 2 different ways we can go about it. We've got automated and manual. I'm not going to write out instructions for manual because it's obvious and simple, right? Just write all your copy into a Google Doc, paste it into individual emails, you know, adjust the name for each email and then hit send, right? I'm not going to go, you know, crazy into that. My recommendation is do my automated process for email, which we're about to go through, and then manually send the social media DMs, which, by the way, manually sending like 5-10 DMs a day, just literally copy and pasting a message and amending the name, like it is literally, I mean, it takes like 20 minutes max, if that, probably. So if you follow the process of layering on top a DM on top of an email, you're not going to have to do it for any longer than a week, right? It's like, you know, 15 minutes a day times by a week to get an absolutely solid top 1% offer. So here's the automated process for email. Number 1, you're going to create an Instantly account. Again, free trial is absolutely fine. Set up your Instantly account. I'm not going to walk through details of that because it's easy, right? We're going to add in some email inboxes. We're going to import your target list spreadsheet. And what you can also do is paste this prompt below into ChatGPT. Again, it takes about 10 minutes to set up your Instantly account. It's not hard. It's not technical. It's worth it, essentially. So what that'll do is it'll put this into an automated sequence. So all the founders will get the initial outreach. The names and stuff will be personalized to them. It will send the follow-ups on autopilot. But if the founder responds to you, it will stop the follow-up. So it's just good. And then you'll have this for life. Like, you can literally, anytime that you want to land another offer, you just turn Instantly on, turn the campaign on, and again, you'll have another offer within like 7 days, okay? So at this point, you can sit back, you know, grab a drink, whatever you want to do, just relax, knowing that elite level offers are absolutely coming your way, and they are right around the corner within a matter of probably less than 2 weeks, right? So I actually meant to say less than a week, right? But 1 to 2 weeks max. It's a good feeling to have. And like I mentioned earlier, now that you've got this set up, right? So you've got your video pitch, you've got your slide presentation, you've got your campaign set up on it Instantly. Absolutely, anytime in the future that you want to pick up a new role for whatever reason, you just literally go to Instantly, turn it on, done. Like you have this cash printing machine for life now. So it's very, very well worth the time to set up. So remember, while Instantly is auto sending the email outreach, make sure that you are also layering on top social media DMs, LinkedIn, Insta, etc. It takes very little effort, 15 minutes a day, and it's going to massively boost your conversions. And if you do it this way, the conversions will be so high, you won't need to do it for more than a week, okay? So 15 minutes for like 5 to 7 days, okay? Now, a key point here, guys, is that what we've just been through, what I've just walked you through, this isn't just a framework and a process for landing, you know, elite level offers and making 20, 30K a month and upwards. This is one of the highest value skills on earth. Like I showed you earlier, some social proof, you know, I've built a network and built relationships with some of the most, like, you know, famous guys on the planet through this exact process. When you learn how to grab and hold the attention of, you know, very powerful people, whether they are, you know, 8-figure founders, influencers, investors is another one, athletes, celebrities, and then you can get them to both get their attention and get them to take the exact action that you want. You unlock this new level of power that most men, frankly, will never touch, okay? You can use this exact skill set to get into rooms that you technically have no business being in. You can build a network that opens up doors for life. You can use it to, you know, launch your own brand. You can get mentored by people who others can only watch on YouTube. You can get mentored by them directly. ultimately, you can build authority, build income, and build leverage faster than 99% of planet Earth. So it's pretty cool. This isn't just about high ticket sales, it's about control, right? Control of your career, your connections, your network, income. So now really there's two options. Number one is you can take what I've shared here today and ultimately just execute the process by yourself, which is fine. Or you can click the link in the description. You can work closer together with me. I will literally guide you hands-on to get your first elite high ticket sales role and get you trained at an elite level so you can operate at that high level and make the big numbers, 20, 30K a month and upwards. I'll give you the scripts, the systems, the feedback, the offer access, like literally everything, guys, to get you making the money that you want to make. I will literally give it to you, okay? The link is in the description for that. But ultimately, guys, you now have the formula. So, no excuses. Let's execute. Really think about the people who believe in you in life. Don't let them down. And I'll see you in the next video.